What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel as well as on Twitch, so make sure you come by and say hello. This video is also brought to you by my music, which is available anywhere you stream music under the name Aftersound, and I do have a new song out recently called Just Kids, so check it out. Let me know what you think, and I appreciate the support. Alright guys, I want to talk about the impact that Cinder is already making in the card market. Now, the thing is, for those of you who have been following along, you know that I am big into land now and trying to fill out my land plots. And the truth is, I don't know if this is the most effective way or efficient way to do it. You guys feel free to correct me in the comments, but I have just been trying to collect regular foil common cards, like literally the bottom of the bottom, because they were the cheapest. So I've had like a running kind of tab of like where the prices on those cards have been, just because I've been checking them regularly, right? And so the thing is, my primary focus has been on Chaos Legion Core as well as the first reward cards. I guess you could put the second reward cards in there too. Yeah, we'll just put the first reward cards in, not the soulbound ones. And if you scroll all the way to the bottom here, you will see that we have Pelacor Conjurer, Gargoyle Lion, Bloodmaker, all of these going for more than $2. Now, when I was buying a lot more of these cards, they were going for less than $2. Now, the prices seems to have dropped a little bit on some of them. So, for example, I think I saw Pelacor Conjurer closer to like $250, which is where you're seeing Pelacor Mercenary. You're seeing Ever Hungry Skull and even Shadow Snitch, all in like the $250 range. But it was quite easy to snag fully maxed copies for less than $2. So again, let's even just look at Pelacor Conjurer here. There's literally one going for $2.20. Then it jumps up to $3. So from where I was buying them before, because I have a lot of planes, so like life cards are great. Where I was buying them before, this is like literally like a 50% jump, right? Anywhere from a 25 to a 50% jump. Whether it's $2.50 or $3 or something like that. And so we're starting to see people who are buying into these cards and essentially moving the market, which again, it may not impact a lot of things. And you might look at this and say, well, it's not really going to do much for the overall card market, but it is impacting me. It is impacting me and my ability to get the cards that I was targeting and I was eyeing for land. It is increasing the cost of me getting into or getting my land plots online. Now, you might say, oh, well, this is just me just whining about this and whatever. That's not the point that I'm trying to make here. I am one individual in an entire ecosystem of individuals doing things that are in their own self-interest, right? So there are other people that are probably out there looking at these cards and thinking to themselves, okay, well, I'm trying to get my land online too. It's nice to buy some cheap cards. And the fact is, the cards are getting more expensive. So what does this represent on a broader level? Now, you're going to say, okay, well, it doesn't matter. Like, it's not impacting the gold foils. It's not impacting this. Like, it's just going after like the cheap cards here. And yes, you're not wrong, right? But the thing is, we have so many of these older, cheaper, pretty much unusable cards. And what I think is great about Cinder in this sense, and I want to make another video kind of talking about the future of Cinder and how I think they can implement it in many other areas. But the precedent that it is setting now, right? The example that it is setting now is a good one, because right now we're eating through all the cards that we don't like, that don't have any value, that are overprinted. Now, you might say that this is a fantasy, but at some point we will finish through all of these cards. We will get through them and get to a point where I'm going to look at a Pelacor Mercenary and say, yeah, you know what? Like, it's just not worth it. Like, maybe it goes to $3, maybe it goes to $4, and I'm just like, it's just not worth it. Let me check and see if there are other cards that are better for land. Maybe I go check some of the rares. Maybe I go check some of the gold foils. Whatever the case is, I have to start looking in other areas. And if I'm looking in those areas, well, then all of a sudden Cinder will be doing the same thing. It will be looking for the cheapest CP per dollar for burns. So all I'm saying is that we are seeing the impact here already. It is not insignificant. It might not be impacting you now, but I would say that it is not insignificant, right? It is very, very significant in moving the floor price on a lot of these cards, which for many people we have multiple copies of, we don't really care about. That's fine. But if just this basic implementation of Cinder for these first inaugural land cards is enough to move the floor price on them up, well, it shows that we've actually hit the bottom, right? It shows that at a time when people don't really need the cards, they don't want the cards, we are still seeing the floor price creep up because now there is new demand coming in and the supply just isn't there. Now, that being said, the one caveat that I will say is that maybe many cards are not listed for sale currently, whether they're held by players or bot farms, whatever, that have not really been active in the game and are just sitting dormant in accounts that could flood the market at a later time. Like, let's say somebody bought a bunch of these, like Pelacor Mercenaries, maxed out at a $1.50 or something when DEC was below peg and these cards were overrun with whatever, and they decide to come back to the game at some point in the future and max Pelacor Mercenaries trading for $3. Yeah, they're going to come in and dump those on the marketplace, but we now know that there is an avenue for these cards to be used, right? And so again, I don't want to harp on this too much. My whole point is that we are starting to see this impact in the market. Obviously, the market is dynamic, but again, this just goes to show for me, right, that the team is doing things that have the game, and more importantly, the game economy headed in the right direction. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. That is all I have for you guys in this video. Otherwise, I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.